Huge news out of the NFL, huge news out of the NBA. First things first, what we wanted to talk about with y'all. So, Patrick Mahomes, torn ACL. Micah Parsons, torn ACL as well. And that's huge news for both those teams. The Chiefs are already at home anyway. They're planning their Cancun trips.
They're in Cancun right now.
They're planning their trips right now as we speak, coordinating who's going at what time, where they're staying, blah, blah, blah. Which I know a lot of people are happy about at home. It's the hater in all of us that makes the Chiefs, like, the Chiefs feel like the Patriots, right? From, like, when we were growing up, where it's like it's so easy to hate them just because they're so goddamn good at football. But sad news for Patrick Mahomes. I'm guessing with the ACL as well, he'll probably be out a portion of next season as well. And for Micah Parsons, he's going to heavily impact that Green Bay defense, him being gone. So I guess just implications of those two injuries. What's your guys' biggest takeaways from those things? Like I said, for the Packers' sake, huge loss. At least the Chiefs are already going home, but for the Packers, that's huge, man.
I actually saw today the Chiefs are actually optimistic that Mahomes could be back at the beginning of next year. I saw that today. I don't know if that'll come to fruition or not, but it seems like they have some high hopes for that. But I think we've talked about this before. The NFL is just better when the best players are on the field, regardless of how much maybe we like or dislike a player. It's always going to be better when the best players are playing. And like you said, huge for the Packers. That defense is going to take a massive blow losing a pass rusher, their best pass rusher like that. It's unfortunate, bro, for a team that's looking good in the NFC. Could have been a contender. Now you're starting to say, okay, well, the defense is what drives that Packers team. The offense is going to have to really pick up slack if they're going to want to do anything. So I guess we'll just see. But huge. Sad, bro. I hate seeing elite players go down. Any player, but especially the best of the best. It's sad when they go down.
Yeah, I agree with you, of course. It's really sad when people go down, especially when they're superstars. Patrick Mahomes has ran this league for almost a decade now, and Michael Parsons has just got a $40 million deal, which, of course he would be, of course he would get, but of course, he's been one of the best and productive DNs of the, past 10 years, past 5 years. But as far as Michael Parsons and his impact, I think Jordan Love has to really get things going, and I don't think he will. I've been the show's hater on Jordan Love, and of course, he hasn't been effective in a lot of times, but the second half of the season is where he's got a lot of things going. Especially last season, he's picked up the pace in the last 6 or 7 games going into the playoffs, but now you have to do it without a defense that's going to be less effective. And with Patrick Mahomes, that might change up the entire AFC because you have Bo Nix and you have Justin Herbert. 2 young quarterbacks in the division.
On the come up.
That teams that can, obviously show, signs of progression, but, they're on the up and up. The Chiefs are, spiraling right now. They're going through a wide receiver carousel. They don't know who their running back's going to be. Travis Kelce is looking like he's going to retire and enjoy life with Taylor Swift. So you really got to start thinking about what you're going to do with Patrick Mahomes when he gets back. And if he does come back at the beginning of the year, how much is he going to retain?
I'm glad you gave that insight because I didn't even really think about, in my brain, it's just the Chiefs are still the Chiefs. But reality of it is they're not. Like you just said, they're not. They have a lot of their core it's been changing. Chris Jones is kind of even getting older. Patrick's going to have to progress back from his ACL next year. There's going to be no Kelce. And then you need some more receivers to assist Patrick next year too. So it definitely could have some effect into next year. Even though Patrick's got the whole offseason to heal, it does kind of restart your process a little bit, especially if Patrick's getting some new receivers. And for the case of Micah, I was talking about it with my brother, but I mean, everybody knows it too, but it's still got to be said. Having an elite pass rusher like that, it's not only just, we're getting to the quarterback more. It's also, my cornerbacks can guard for half the time less on a lot of plays than they majority would. And then that also affects your safeties in return. So Micah Parsons being hurt definitely affects that whole defense as a whole. His pass rush is so dominant that it just transforms a whole defense. And to me, it really takes the Packers from, okay, you guys are like kind of competing. I can't tell just yet, but you have a shot, to like, I really don't know now. And I mean, that's just obvious. But Micah Parsons, huge loss for the Packers. And on another note as well, it's been a tough season for Jaden Daniels. Washington Commanders shut down Jaden Daniels as well for the rest of this season. It feels like he hasn't been able to get any momentum going. I think the Commanders have, 3 wins right now at this point in the season. And if they had Jaden Daniels, I don't think it's crazy to say that they'd at least be in competition for a playoff spot. And it's just been spiraling for the Commanders. Second year for Jaden Daniels. He didn't even really get a chance to show what he's got. So that's unfortunate from that side of things. And again, similar to Jerry's point, it's going to affect your whole offseason.
Yeah. Ever since he got hurt before the dislocated elbow too, right? He's been like kind of just on and off hurt.
He's been hurt all year, man.
It wasn't like anything serious, but like it was like dink and dust stuff.
Right. I mean, I think that's the right choice at this point. You're not playing for anything. You don't want to put him back out. I mean, I think most people didn't even think Jaden Daniels was going to play another snap after they saw what actually happened, because that injury was gruesome. So yeah, I mean, that's the right call. You don't want to risk anything further for a season that's already over. It's unfortunate that he didn't get to show anything, but at this point, heal up, practice hard, and get ready for next year.
I'm one of those people who thought he should have been sat out for the rest of the year once I seen the arm.
I agree.
I don't like seeing things like that. Like, we all know the Paul George injury. I seen that video, and it just made my heart like not skip, but like quiver, like shake. And then I seen the Jaden Daniels injury, and I'm like, there's nothing worse than that. Like, we see the bone off of where it's supposed to be. And he's coming back like 3 weeks later, and the coaches are like, he's good. No. Like, your season's already derailed. Like, sit him out. Like, no. So, like, I think it's a good thing to just, like, let him heal up. Let him get 100% for next season, because he was dinged up last season and missed a couple of weeks last season with some ribs injuries. And now these are new injuries on new parts of your body. So it's like, hey, we don't want this to become a trending thing to where he's injury prone every year, and we have to account for him only playing like 12 or 13 games. So it's good he's sitting out and has the ability to just heal up, and coaches are being smart with this one.
To your point, NFL injuries are such an anomaly, because you'll see a non-contact injury where a dude will be out for like 14 months, and then Jaden Daniels' arm is at a 45-degree angle, and the report comes out, and they're like, yeah, he'll be good in 3 weeks. Like,
yeah, like Micah Parsons
come from? Like, what? What are you?
You would think that Micah Parsons' injury wasn't as bad as Jaden Daniels, but Micah's out for at least half of next season, and Jaden Daniels just got right back on the field.
Theoretically could have played if he wasn't hurt, all year with different injuries, and the Commanders were actually playing for something. So those were some of the big injuries that hit last week. The turf monster's been going crazy in the NFL this year, man. It's been catching bodies, catching ACLs, which is sad, because like we all said, everybody, like, the best players should be playing football in the field, plain and simple, and it's sad when they're not. On a more positive note, Uncle Phil, he returned, he came back, and he did not look too bad. For everything that we were saying about the Colts, and Jeremiah, you were right, but also you were wrong at the same time. You said last week you thought that Uncle Phil would not do absolutely anything for the Colts, and that he would actually make them worse. I think Uncle Phil, and this is what I mean, you're right, but you're wrong, it's kind of just neutral. It's like, he knows the offense, he knows how to hand the ball off to Jonathan Taylor, he knows how to throw 15-yard out routes or 5-yard drag routes, and that's all he really needs to know. It's not going to lose him games, it's not going to win him games, but it almost did. I was personally really excited to see Phillip Rivers and the celebration. I know everybody saw the memes about that. I was dying laughing. how he celebrates like your uncle who just sunk a cornhole shot for the game at the barbecue in the backyard, doing a whole fist bump, like stealing it from Rogers, kind of. But he added some spice to it. He's shaking his whole body when he's doing the fist bump. So I know that Dom was super excited to watch Phillip Rivers play, like I said last week. So I'll let you take it off from there. But I was really excited to see Phillip Rivers play football, man.
Yeah, I got to sit and watch that game too because the Steelers didn't play till Monday night, and it was fun to watch. Also, he had one like drop back where he tried to plant and run, and dude just completely collapsed to the floor, and I'm just like, this is like exactly how I thought it was going to go. But like you said, he gave his team a chance to win the football game, and I mean, he didn't look bad. Like some of the balls, like there was a go route to Josh Downs where Downs like didn't turn around in time. That could have been a big gain.
Yeah.
I mean, he threw a touchdown, he threw a pick, but the pick was tipped. So it's hard to say.
Just preface: Phillip Rivers' throws have never looked good.
No, he's always had that.
Never looked good.
That sidearm, like, yeah, it looks like bro had like surgery on his shoulder when he was like in high school or something. Can never get it over the top.
It worked.
I mean, he could. I was gonna say he could sling that thing. Yeah, it was nice to see Phillip back on the field, and yeah, the celebration, man, that had me. And also, just like I feel, dude, it's so cool. Like I was saying, the week before, this man was probably sitting on the couch like all of us, having a beer with his family. And then the week later, he comes out and he's playing football. Like, how great is that? And the emotion, and I get it, man. Like, his whole football team was watching. His son was there. It's like, it's amazing, dude. Like, I'm just like, no, I'm like,
man, come on.
I am, bro. I'm like, dude, he's 44 years old, got off the couch and said, I'm gonna play some football, bro. And he did. He went out there and
might still be him.
He went out there and played some football. So yeah, I'm not like, I know the Colts are out of it right now. If the defense can play like they just did last week on a consistent basis, and also Jonathan Taylor didn't really even get going in this game. If those two things, if Jonathan Taylor can pick it up, Colts defense stays consistent, Colts could have a chance to. If they got to win games though, that's the thing. They're not going to be gifted it, but we'll see. I think they're going to be fun to watch regardless, just because he's a funny guy too.
I thought I had one thing to add with the JT thing, but Dom
took it.
But it's all good. I ain't even gonna lie to you. You were right. I was wrong, and I was right, but I was more wrong. I didn't think Phillip Rivers could be competitive against one of the best defenses, and the Seattle defense flies around. Like nobody on the Seattle defense is looked down upon. Like everybody just wants to make a play. And Phillip Rivers was dicing them up for 3.5 quarters. Mind you, the dice ups were dink and dunk, 5 yards, 10 yards here, maybe a 15, 20-yard pass there. But like it was effective for what the game plan was. And of course, if you're the Seahawks, you knew that coming in. You knew Phillip wasn't going to throw the ball 50 yards down the field. You knew you had to play underneath coverage. And they still kind of beat you. Now, JT, they played great defense against JT because JT was going to be the impact player and should have won them the game if he had a big play like he usually does. Like, you needed like a 65, 70-yard run by JT to just get the momentum going and, like, just get things high on the sideline. But the fact that Phillip Rivers stood in there, fell down, and got back up. When I seen Trevor Lawrence do it earlier in the season, I kind of have faith because Trevor Lawrence is young. He got them young legs. He's able to get up and run. Phillip got up because, he was panicking. He got up and ran for a couple of yards. So, like, it wasn't like he just stood on the ground or stayed on the ground and was like, nah, I'm done. I'm just, going to give up on the play. He was trying to win that game. Now, mind you, I knew when it came down to that last drive, that game-winning drive, he wasn't going to do it because that's what he said in the press conference. He can't be the hero. It's not him right now. He know that. But it was still a great game. Seattle, you got to do something for next week because you don't look good right now.
Not amazing. The last thing I was going to say as well, Phillip Rivers, the Colts honestly should have won that football game. They were 45 seconds away from winning that football game. Phillip Rivers led a drive quickly, got him down the field with those dink and dunks, and he gave him a chance to win the football game. Kicker made the field goal. All defense had to do was get a stop for 45 seconds. So Phillip Rivers is definitely not the reason that they lost that football game. But as we all just said, very excited to watch Phillip Rivers play football. Who doesn't love watching a grandpa play NFL football? How can you not love that?
Gotta love it.
Quick check-in, too. Have to do it, because I'm a Browns fan. Myles Garrett currently has 21 and a half sacks. How about that, NFL? NFL getting cooked by my boy Myles right now. So he is currently, I think that's one away from tying the sack record.
Yeah.
If he gets 1.5 more, he's got the record all to himself. And we have, how many more weeks left is it? Is it 2 or 3?
3.
3?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, so Myles Garrett's got 3 weeks to get 1.5 sacks. This is just a quick check-in thing. We don't even need to discuss this, but I think the record is his. The record is his. He currently is a placeholder. There's a number 1, and right now it's blank, but it's like invisible ink when you send a text on iMessage. You know, you gotta scrabble it off. Myles Garrett's already up there. You just gotta scrabble it off when he's got it.
Yeah.
So Myles Garrett, shout out to Myles Garrett again with another incredible performance. I think he got 1.5 sacks during that Bears game, even though we got absolutely dumped on. That was a horrible game. Next thing, J.J. McCarthy. Dom actually wanted to talk about this last week, and I didn't put it in. We were talking about other things, and I didn't even bring it up because I was like, yeah, right, bro. Whatever. J.J. McCarthy. Dom was going to bring up how NFL quarterbacks, they get judged way too quickly by fans, by coaches, by other owners, and GMs. Everybody is so quick to pass guys off after just a few games. And so I know Dom was really excited. J.J. McCarthy had a bounce-back game. Not that we're fans of J.J. McCarthy, but I think Dom is always a fan of the underdog.
Right.
That huge opinion of, oh, this guy is getting bashed on. I don't even think he's that bad. And yes, J.J. McCarthy did play the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys get fried a lot, but not by everybody. It does happen a lot, but not by everybody. And J.J. McCarthy came out there and he balled out last week as well versus the Cowboys.
So I think this is 2 weeks in a row that he scored 3 total touchdowns. I think the week before he threw 2 and ran 1, and this past week he threw 3, if I'm not mistaken. So, and I don't think he turned the ball over. Well, no, he had a tip pick against the Cowboys' first drive. But, you know, he bounced back. And yeah, like you said, I do think that, and I get it. When you draft a quarterback, that's like it's the core of your team. So you're when you're drafting a quarterback highly, you expect him to come in and have an impact on your team pretty quickly. I understand that, but not everybody's a Jaden Daniels. Not everybody's a C.J. Stroud. These past 3 first overall picks: Bryce Young, Caleb Williams, Cam Ward. All 3 of them started off really slowly in their rookie year. Like Cam Ward this year, he's shown flashes, but for the most part, hasn't looked the best. Caleb Williams, finally this year, he's starting to look a lot better, but last year he was making a lot of throws where we're like, what are you doing, dude? And Bryce Young got benched the second game into his second season. So when we're talking about, you know, these teams are giving up on these quarterbacks too early, it's like you're picking these guys with the first overall pick. You have to see them through more than just a season. I've said this many times before. I think quarterback is the hardest position to play in any sport. So when you're drafting guys early like J.J. McCarthy, 7 games in, you can't be sitting here telling me and speculating, oh, are the Vikings going to move on from McCarthy? Like, come on, dude. Give the man a couple weeks to learn how to play football at the NFL level. He's shown flashes. That's all I really need to see early on. If you can show me you can go into a game and ball out, then, if you have a couple bad weeks here and there, I'll give you a pass. If you show no flashes whatsoever, that's one thing. But if you're showing me something, I'm going to at least give you some time. And, you know, that's the biggest thing. I hope that these teams start to give these quarterbacks longer time, because it's sad when these guys get passed over when they're picked so highly and they don't really get a chance to make any impact. So That's what I think about that.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with you. I think there's a whole lot of instances where people just misunderstand the situations that quarterbacks go into. A lot of quarterbacks go into situations that aren't glamorous, that aren't fruitful for them. And the Minnesota Vikings do have a solid team around JJ, but he was hurt the entire rookie year. He didn't have time to process the offense. He didn't have time to process his defense live. He had to understand how to get his body right for the next season. And like you have people like Pat Mahomes and Tom Brady who people want to go out for and like, hey, you see these people, you see how hard they work, you have to be that, you have to win now. People forget when Peyton Manning threw all them picks that rookie year. People forget Anthony Richardson so quickly when he came out, made a couple of plays. He had flashes, but people understood that he wasn't it. People forget that Trey Lance was drafted third overall based on his potential and had nothing to offer for an NFL team whatsoever, starting wise. So I think people forget that quarterback isn't a situation where you can just go in and be productive immediately. You have to have the right coach. You have to have the right staff around you. You have to have the right confidence in the building. If people are looking at you sideways when you throw a pick as a rookie, they're going to look at you sideways when you do it again as a second year. But this time they're going to be like, hey, let's get somebody else in there. The confidence goes down. So, like, you have to be in a situation to where you can progress, you can grow. And like Dom said, like, you have to give these people time. If they're showing flashes, especially the way JJ has, he's won in the past. Sadly, it was at Michigan. You know, we all hate it, but he has won. So give the guy a little bit more credit.
Completely agreed. I think JJ, not a bad NFL player. Just needs some time to play more football. And Justin Jefferson got his wish. He said, I'd rather be not getting catches and winning football games. That's exactly what happened.
I don't know how long he can do that, though. Like, I don't. As a wide receiver, he probably can't do that for a whole season.
Yeah, number one receivers. They got a short fuse. No matter how long you want to hide it, they all got a short fuse, brother.
No, Justin knew it coming in though. I think his fuse was a little bit extended for a year because he was like he knew that this was JJ's rookie year. He knew he was gonna make mistakes. So like this year, I think he's cool with it. We'll see about next year though.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Couple games as well that went down this week. Some big games. My Jaguars hate is getting shoved right back in my face. I don't care if they played the New York Jets. Those motherfuckers look good. Jaguars look really good. And I know both these dudes are incredibly excited to talk about it. I might only have a couple people who have followed this train from when we started, but I've been the biggest Jaguars hater all season long in terms of I just don't think they have the personnel. I don't think they have this. I don't think they have that. But they keep winning football games. It's at a point where I just have to stop the hate as long as they keep winning football games. So that's where I'm at. What was the final score in that Jaguars-Jets game, too?
I think it was like 48. Give me 1 second.
I know T-Law had 6 total touchdowns.
It was 48 to 20. 48-20.
48-20.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's the New York Football Jets. It's impressive to put up 48 points on any NFL team on any given week, regardless. And I've never said these words all season. I'm going to give my respect to Trevor Lawrence.
Hey, we got him. Let's go.
He doesn't need it. He doesn't care about my opinion. But I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to say I give my respect to Trevor Lawrence. That looked like Clemson Trevor Lawrence back at it, bro. He was out there slinging. He was running the ball well. He was commanding that offense. And I really liked what I saw from T-Law.
I was going to tell you, Gabe. I'm like, I was thinking about this earlier. I'm like, I was going to tell you, this is your last chance to hop off the Jaguar
Yeah,
tape.
bro.
Because I'm going to be honest with you, I think they have a really, really good chance to come out of the AFC right now. Looking at the teams right now, we just saw the Patriots stutter, which I'm sure we'll get to that. But I'm not really sold on the Broncos either. I think the Jaguars are a more complete team than the Broncos. I said this last week. Trevor Lawrence will take that team as far as Trevor Lawrence
if he plays like that.
If he plays good, that team is going to win, and they're going to win by a lot of points because that defense is good. We've been seeing this all year. They're winning games, but it's by a little bit because T-Law is turning the ball over too much or he's not scoring enough touchdowns. look what happens when he's out there scoring 6 touchdowns. And I
Damn.
don't think he turned the ball. Maybe he threw one
No,
pick.
he did not throw
Okay,
one
did
pick.
not throw a pick. Yeah, T-Law is really impressed me the last couple weeks. I'm really glad he's starting to come along. He's always had all the tools. I think it's been a mental thing for him the past couple years. And he really, like you said, he really looked like he was in his element. He looked like he was locked in. That looked like the Clemson Trevor Lawrence that everybody thought was coming to the NFL. And I think that this Jags team is going to be scary if they keep up this trajectory.
And to Jerry's point, where he doesn't have a turnover, or he didn't have a turnover that game, I think T-Law might have been the first quarterback in NFL history to have 350 plus total yards, 6 total touchdowns, and no turnovers.
Wow.
I think I've seen that stat too. Yeah.
He was balling, boy.
Yeah, no, Dom, when you start off with a coach like Urban, and doing all the things that he's doing, you're gonna have some mental issues, bro.
100%.
It's gonna carry over.
100%.
But also, I knew the interception thing because, and this is a stat that I haven't heard all season, which blew my mind. Guess how many interceptions the Jets have all season?
I think they have no picks.
They have no picks.
Zilch.
They showed the stat, and I was like, well, interesting. Trevor turns the ball over a lot, so that streak will end. No. They still looking for that first one of the year. It's insane. But Trevor Lawrence, and I think I said this early in one of our first podcasts, he has so much confidence in his throws, but a lot of times the throws are just bad decisions. So where, like, of course, he doesn't see somebody coming over or across the field or something like that, or he doesn't see an underneath defender. But when he's on and the throws are confident, it's insane. There was a throw, I think it was his first touchdown in the end zone. It was between a window of 2 people, and there was a defender coming to the left. To you guys, no, to my right. My bad. He's coming to my right, and the receiver's going to the left, and he threw it just past the defender's head as he's moving to the right, which is like, it's just insane how much ball placement knowledge he has. And then when it's on, and then you unlock other players like Travis Etienne's running game. Sorry, Jesus Christ. There we go. Oh my goodness. The defense causes turnovers like how they've done all year, and of course they got 1 or 2 more last week. This team is very scary, and I do agree with you. They have a lot of pieces and a lot of building blocks to being the team that comes out of the AFC because they match up really well with a lot of people. Buffalo, you got to stop James Cook, which, like, they have a really good run defense, the Jags do. The Patriots, obviously, you have to get Drake May comfortable and outlast 4 quarters. After that, I mean, like, the Broncos are a 4th quarter team, so if you're beating them by 20, you might be able to win a game no matter how much comeback they have in it. So I think they're in a great spot. Trevor Lawrence definitely deserves a lot of credit, and I appreciate you, Gabe. You ain't do it all season, but you came out of your shell, man. Appreciate it.
Shout out to Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers, since the Jaguars got him, he's been a huge addition to that team.
Did he have another touchdown this week?
I don't think he got a tutty, but he's basically been their wide receiver 1, in all honesty. He's been out playing Brian Thomas Jr. I think he has at least 55 yards in every game so far as a Jag, and then he has, I think, 3 touchdowns as a Jag already. And he came in right away, had to play right away, learned the offense in like a week, and he's been balling out since he went to the Jaguars as well. So shout out to Jacoby Myers. Real quick, I'll run through a couple more things so we can get to Jeremiah wants to play. He has a game. We're going to implement, like we said, more games and things like that. Jeremiah's going to man his first game that he thought of that hopefully y'all enjoy. Dom's going to man a game here soon as well. But some of the other ones that we wanted to talk about, some quick ones. Kyle Pitts, 3 touchdowns, 145 yards. And guess who started Kyle Pitts? Guess who played Kyle in fantasy playoffs in the first round?
The 1% of all fantasy players.
Bro.
I am going to be honest, I didn't even open my app again after that. I already knew it was over, bro.
On Thursday night.
I almost deleted ESPN app after that.
So Kyle Pitts got Dom. He caught Dom lacking. The funny thing is Kyle Pitts would never be in if Sam Laporta didn't hit the IR. So shout out Kyle Pitts, baby. Another couple other things here. Tua got benched. The Miami Dolphins are an absolute mess. Tua got benched. And he's not even the QB2.
I was gonna say
He's not even the
What?
he
Yeah.
got pushed to QB3.
He's QB3, Jerry. He's QB3.
He's the emergency QB.
He's the emergency QB.
Oh my gosh.
Yep, they pushed him all the way back to QB3, so maybe
Who's
Mike.
QB2?
Zach Wilson.
Yeah, Zach Wilson. There you go. Yep.
Hey yo, Mike McDaniel's had enough, bro.
Mike McDaniel's probably
He's
gone.
done with him.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
He's
Mike's
gone.
out.
He's
Yeah.
as good as gone.
Mike's
And
mad he's gonna lose his job, so he's like, "All right, Tua, you're losing your job too, buddy." Dang, Gabe is stuck, bro.
No, hey, that's the worst post to be stuck in.
No,
dude.
it really is.
Dude, I was lagging my ass off.
You're back,
God damn, y'all.
dude.
Yeah, I'm back.
You just had the funniest
right.
pose, bro.
Yeah, I saw Jerry when I come back. He's like, "This is a bad pose to be stuck in."
No, it really is.
Whenever it goes through the export, sometimes it fits. Let's fingers crossed. Hopefully, it fixes.
Yeah.
Let me actually write down this time frame so I can cut that out if it doesn't. fix.
Nah, leave it in, man.
One moment, man. Chill. Hold on. All right. Couple other things as well. So we already talked about the Chiefs getting eliminated. Bengals, potential changes. I don't know if y'all have seen. Joe Burrow has been incredibly nonchalant, iffy in terms of asking or answering questions when reporters ask about what his future looks like with the Cincinnati Bengals, which doesn't seem like very Joe Burrow-y type of answers. It seems like he's always bought into Cincinnati and said, "Bring my guys back." And it's the second time in a week a reporter's asked him, "Hey, Joe, what do you think your future looks like?" And he's like, "Well, I think about a lot of things." That's kind of what he keeps saying, is I think about a lot of things. So this is one we'll hit on more right here. I'd love to hear your guys' take on this, but the Bengals, do they need a shakeup? Do they need a rebuild? Do they keep Joe? Do they trade Joe? Do they keep Chase? Do they keep Higgins? Do they keep Trey? Like, what potential changes do you think could be made to the Bengals going forward?
I mean, yeah, it's hard to build a team when you pay 4 guys 70% of your freaking salary cap. So I understand Joe's frustration. I personally think that the Bengals should rebuild. I mean, I don't know if that's obviously not too hot of a take. They've been pretty bad these past couple years. Their defense is bottom of the league. The offense has to score 50 points if they want to win. It's just not the formula to win football games. So I don't blame Joe at all, man. I mean, if you've been through what he's been through, so many season-ending injuries, coming back, and your team is I think they're 4-10 or something like that. It's not enjoyable to be out there, man. When you're not playing meaningful football, why be out there risking your health and your future health? It's just I get what he's saying. I don't think Joe's going to hang up the cleats. I've seen a lot of people are speculating like Joe could retire. I don't think it's to that point. But it might be time for a change of scenery, and it might just be best for the Bengals to cash out on Joe now, because they'll get some first-round picks for him, for sure, a couple first-round picks. So it might be best for a Bengals rebuild and for Joe to get a fresh start elsewhere. Maybe Pittsburgh Steelers could be a suitor. Now, they won't trade him in division, but yeah, that's why I think that it's time for the Joe Burrow thing. I think it's about time for that to be over.
My own quick Spark Notes opinion before we go to Jerry, I think you never should trade a franchise quarterback away like Joe Burrow. I think the solution actually is decently simple. You get rid of Zach Taylor. You get a more respectable Zach Taylor's offensive-minded, but he's not. He's not good. You get rid of Zach Taylor. You keep Joe. I think you trade T. Higgins. And I think you also trade Trey Hendrickson. If you do that, that fills up so much room of cap space. You do whatever is in your best interest to still keep Joe and keep Jamar, and you can still have a wide receiver and quarterback duo that costs as much as those two do and still build up the rest parts of your team. It's really not that crazy, insanely hard. You draft some O linemen, you draft some defensive players. Yeah, it might take a while, but Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are still, they're not old, they're not young, but they still have time. 100 million%. So that's my own personal opinion on the Bengals. You get rid of T, you get rid of Trey, you get rid of Zach Taylor, and you build your team more so around you get O-line, you get defense. Simple as that.
I agree with you on the duo part. I believe the duo still has at least another 4 to 5 years of just like offensive dominance at the top of the league type of production throughout an entire season. But I feel like not like I feel like firing Zach Taylor isn't gonna fix your issues, especially financially. The thing about them, like Dom said, they have 70% of their cap within 4 players. And honestly, they did it to themselves. Joe wanted T and Jamar back. He told them in the offseason, find a way to do it. I don't care how you do it. You can restructure my deal. The thing is, once you do that, you have nowhere else to spend money at. The defense is still going to look bad. The offensive line is still going to look bad. They have been the same Cincinnati Bengals for the past 4 to 5 years, where their offense is productive, they look flashy, everything's cool, but they can't compete because the rest of their team is just garbage. And like,
Simple as
yes,
that, bro.
you need somebody in the building with respect, and I don't think they respect Zach Taylor anymore to the point to where like an entire season he has them fired up. I feel like there's times where like, whatever,
Yeah,
dude.
and that's my
Look,
biggest point with the fire Zach Taylor thing is not that he's been causing the issues,
yeah,
that he's not helping, and at this point they just need a new coach. They need a new
he's
face
not
to
helping.
look at.
He's not helping. Nothing's getting better. Like passing is still great, rushing is decent, but the offensive line is just not good. Joe's still going to get hurt, and like it's just been a repeat every single year. Like except for the Super Bowl year, where of course they had enough to make it, but other than that, it's just been injury, repeat, try to pay players, can't do it, defense is trash.
All those things combined. Exactly.
Yeah.
Hit the nail on the head. Um, as well, a couple other things. NFC South shakeup. Both the Buccaneers and the Panthers lost right now, so NFC South is completely wide open. You got two of the last final 3 games of the season. The Buccaneers are playing the Carolina Panthers, man. So that's something that's extremely interesting to watch out for as this NFL season comes to a close. Um, Let me give you a quick playoff standings update here, real quick, for the NFL. So right now you have the Broncos sitting at the 1 seed. They have clinched. Patriots are at the 2 seed. Jaguars are at the 3. Steelers are at the 4. The Chargers are the 5. Bills are the 6. Texans are the 7. Colts are the 8. And the Ravens are the 9. So Colts and Ravens are on the outside looking in. On the other side of things, for the NFC, Rams are the 1 seed. They've clinched the playoffs as well. So Broncos and the Rams are currently the only 2 teams who have clinched a playoff spot just yet. The Bears are there sitting at 2. The Eagles are sitting at 3. The Buccaneers are still sitting at 4. Seahawks at 5. Niners at 6. Packers at 7. And then the Lions are still on the outside looking in. And I would love to see the Lions in the playoffs still. So I'd be sad if the Lions don't make the playoffs. And the Panthers are the other team on the outside looking in at the 9. But their chances of making the playoffs with the Buccaneers are practically the same. So that's how the NFL is shaping up to be at the moment. We got a couple more weeks left. I think the only teams that really could work their way in on either side of things would be the Colts. How many games up are you guys on the Ravens now as well? Is it completely tied?
We're up one. We're 8. We have the advantage because we beat them, but we're 8-6. They're 7-7. So
Oh yeah, it is
Oh,
one. Yeah.
yeah, it's as long as, I mean, who do you
It's
guys
two
play
with the
in the,
tiebreaker. Like if we end up the same record, it's tiebreaker. We won.
well, yeah. I guess we got to see what happens. We play them again, so if they beat us, then we have the same record. I don't even know what happens. It goes
It's
to like,
points after that.
yeah, okay.
and then on the other side of things, Lions and Panthers both have a legitimate chance of making the NFL playoffs for sure. So it's really open in the NFC. There's so many talented teams. I would love to go into Jeremiah's game right now, but I know y'all want to talk about it, so I'm going to bring it up. Y'all can have your Steelers chat. Y'all can have your Steelers chat. Rodgers redeemed himself a little bit. He just needed a couple Percocets to get it done. You know what I mean? He just needed to play the Dolphins, have a couple Percocets, and he's back to
I first half was pretty boring.
it. Bro.
They didn't do much in the first half. They went on a nice touchdown drive at the end of the first half. It was actually, I forget what the stat was, but it's the first time, and I don't even know how long, that they scored touchdowns on 4 consecutive
Yeah,
drives
since 2018.
since 2018. 4 consecutive drives they scored touchdowns. That second half, I don't know if I stopped smiling the whole time, because that was some of the most complete Steelers football I've seen this year. I know it was against the Dolphins, but the Dolphins were also hot. They were on a 4-game win streak. I know Tua doesn't play well in cold weather, and we saw that. Asante Samuel got a pick. I love that. But
Asante.
them Steelers, man, I don't know. They still, we gotta see how they played on the stretch. But these last couple weeks, they've looked a lot better. And I tell you what, you get Aaron Rodgers in the right mindset, I feel like anything can happen. And he has been in the right mindset the last couple weeks. He's really slinging that thing. Defense is looking pretty good. And guess what? We didn't even have T.J. Watt. No T.J. Watt. No
Nope.
Derek Harmon. And the defense, honestly, they held H. They were letting up some decent runs at first. I think the first play of the game, they got 20 yards, and I was just like,
Yeah.
oh, this is going to be a long day, bro. But they really clamped down, and they looked good. Shout out the Steelers. We'll see if they can keep this up down the stretch. And they got to keep winning here because, like we said, it's only a game in between us and the Ravens. But
Bro,
we'll see,
Jerry,
man.
stop smirking. He's giving that
A-Rod.
look like, bro.
A-Rod.
He's like, you got games on your phone. That's what Jerry was reminding me of. Like, hey, little kid, you got games on your phone.
Yeah. No, not gonna lie. When you give Rodgers a perk 30, you
He
give
go
DK
all.
a good stiff arm, and you get Jonnu Smith in that backfield, that's what's gonna happen. I don't know how that mixture came up, but it did. Mike Tomlin, not gonna lie, and this is, something that I've realized over the past couple of days. There have been a lot of seasons where I doubted Mike Tomlin, and I was like, you know what, this is gonna be the season. Streak's gonna be over. Started with Ben. Ben, when Pouncey was out last year, he wasn't feeling it. I was like, you know what, not a good start. Ben's not looking good. It's not gonna happen. 9-7, I think. Next year, Duck Hodges. Who else? Mason Rudolph. I forget the
Yeah.
last one, but had a 9-8 season or had a 10-7 season, something like that. Next season, Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett ain't look good. Defense wasn't looking too hot, but we still got that thing going. This year, Aaron Rodgers. We looked horrible running the ball. Our defense looked bad, and we still have 8 wins.
I was gonna say,
And
y'all
I can't
still
get
going to have 9 or
anywhere.
10 wins.
Mike Tomlin is I won't say a guru, but that man knows ball. As long as he here, I'm here. I will never give up on Mike Tomlin. I don't care what people got to say no more. Never again will you hear me doubt that man's name.
The
I
recency
need to see him win a
bias.
football game in the
I don't care
playoffs.
about the recency bias, okay?
As if he
They
wins a
could-
playoff game, I'll give him some slack.
You know who I felt like? I felt like an Ohio State fan. I didn't have to watch that fourth quarter. I knew what was going to happen, and it made me feel good because I ain't have to worry about the outcome, and I ain't have to stress.
Hey, let me-
He's living off dopamine hits.
Let me get away.
Dolphins.
Yeah, yeah.
The thing is,
Oh,
I-
all right, bro. Go
As a
take
Steelers
it away.
fan-
Close it up.
as a Steelers fan, I've never experienced purgatory, and as long as Mike Tomlin there, I don't think I will. So we gonna feel good. We good.
You know the definition of insanity, Jerry?
I do. It's doing the same thing over and over again, expecting the same result, and I don't care.
So you see how you just explained everything that you did and then said I've
Yep.
never experienced purgatory as a Steelers fan?
Yeah.
Jerry might need to check into the mental hospital. Okay, I'm just kidding, bro.
Listen, hey,